All right, and is the recorder going to as well, Ms. Brunel?
Just one moment.
Let me get my recorder too, yeah, because I know Zoom has its own little separate record button. And I'll get my cell phone recording. There we go. All right, well, let's get started. It is November 10th, 2021, 9:00 a.m. I'm Phil Albrecht's hearing examiner for the city of Lakewood. We have an application for a conditional use permit for curbside RV sales and storage, file number LU 21-00062 to consider in the hearing this morning. So far, the only persons participating in the hearing, those that are present, are city staff, Courtney Brudell and Josh, the planner, and myself. Of course, members of the public or the applicant may join us later, and that's just fine. The hearing format we'll start off with a staff presentation, and then after that, if anyone else joins us, we'll let them speak. That would be the applicant first, and then the public. After that, the staff will have an opportunity for rebuttal, and finally, applicant gets final word if they decide to participate today. I'm going to share my screen just for the record to show the exhibit list. Get that up there, and I take it. Scroll down there to the exhibit page. Boy, I don't. That's weird. Come on. There we go. So on the last page of the staff report, page 11, we have exhibits 1 through 11. I take it staff has no objections to entry of those documents?
No, thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and enter exhibits 1 through 11. Then Josh, let me swear in at this point. I'll stop share. And just raise your right hand, Josh. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
I do.
Okay, all right, then go ahead. All right.
Gotta unmute myself. That'd be helpful.
That's funny. Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice that. Okay, we heard you at first, and then I don't know how that happened. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Josh Kibitz, a planning consultant with the city of Lakewood. I'll be presenting the curbside RV sales and storage conditional use permit staff report. The project is located in 2 tax parcels. Tax parcel ending in 028 is for RV sales. Tax parcel ending in 032 is for RV sales and storage area. The primary access is through South Tacoma Way, and the secondary access is off of 34th Avenue South. The project would use the existing building on site for sales and rental office. They are proposing 55 covered RV car parts, 5 uncovered RV car parts, 10 vehicle parking spaces, and proposing 2 security gates, 2 RV dump stations, landscaping, and paving. The tax parcel ending in 028 is zone commercial 2, which is RV sales use is permitted outright. Tax parcel ending in 032 is zone air corridor 1. Per comprehensive plan, air corridor 1 comprises of accident potential zone, APZ 1. RV sales and storage uses are conditionally permitted as a type 3 permit. This conditional use permit applications for the proposed RV sales and vehicle storage use on tax parcel ending on 032. Procedural requirements. Notice of complete application was issued July 9, 2021. Notice of application and optional DNS was issued July 19th, 2021 with no public or agency comments received. SEPA determination of non-significance was issued October 19th, 2021 with 4 mitigation measures, and a notice of public hearing was issued October 25th, 2021. The purpose of the AC1 zoning district is to promote land use and development that is compatible with an aircraft noise and the accident potential associated with the proximity to JBLM aircraft flight operations. In general, the zoning district is looking to achieve small grouping of people. The proposed RV sales and vehicle storage use is encouraged as shown in policy 34-2E. Basic provisions. The proposal is located in the approach departure imaginary surface. As such, the application shall be transmitted to JBLM coordinating official with a request for determination of whether the proposed development constitutes a prohibited use. The JBLM coordinating official was sent the notice of application on July 19, 2021. The city did not receive a determination or a request for additional time for review. Therefore, the proposed RV sales and vehicle storage use is considered to be compliant with the imaginary surfaces criteria. RV sales are conditional use with a maximum floor area ratio FAR of 0.14. Vehicle storage is a conditional use with a maximum FAR ratio of 0.28. The city allows projects to utilize the greater FAR ratio when there are two differing FAR ratios on site. Therefore, the proposed FAR of 0.27 is compliant with the standard. The proposed RV dump stations are not listed as a permitted accessory use in LMC 18A 40. Therefore, the proposed RV dump stations are not permitted and as condition number 2. Residential and lodging uses are not permitted, and while not being proposed by the applicant, the city wants to ensure that at no time may their on-site RVs be used for overnight occupancy with or without the owner approval, which is shown in condition number 5. Operating and development conditions restricts total individuals on site to not exceed 1 person per 1,742 square feet. The 0.74 acre property, therefore, is allowed a maximum of 18 individuals on site at any one time. To ensure continued compliance with this standard, a maximum occupancy sign shall be installed at each entrance into tax parcel ending in 32 that denotes a maximum occupancy limit of 18 prior to certificate of occupancy, condition number 4. District performance criteria. Any new use which involves release of airborne substances that may interfere with aircraft operations are prohibited. The proposal shall be paved and no airborne substances are anticipated. Staff finds the proposal compliant. Criteria 2. Any new use which emits light or direct or indirect reflections that may interfere with the pilot's vision is prohibited. The proposal shall demonstrate compliance with outdoor line code prior to issuance of type 1 design review permit, condition 7. Staff finds the proposal is compliant as conditioned. Criteria 3, any new use that creates an undue hazard to the general health, safety, and welfare of the community in the event of aircraft accident in these zones districts is prohibited. The proposal includes no new hazardous chemicals that are not typical of vehicles. Staff finds the proposal is compliant. Facilities which emit electrical current shall be installed in a manner that does not interfere with communication systems or navigational equipment. It is not anticipated that the proposed project will interfere with communication systems or navigational equipment. Staff finds the proposal is compliant. Criteria 5, any new use which tracks concentrations of birds or waterfowl, such as mixed solid waste, landfill disposal facilities, waste transfer facilities, etc., is prohibited. The proposal does not include facilities that will track concentration of birds or waterfowl, so staff finds the proposal is compliant. Criteria 6, structures are prohibited within 100 feet of their aircraft approach departure transitional surfaces. The proposal is located in the approach departure clearance surface, imaging surface area. The above standard is in conflict with the basic provision stated earlier, where it states the proposed development is only prohibited upon a timely determination by the JBLM coordinating official. The city defers this standard to the basic provisions code stated earlier. Staff finds the proposal is compliant. Projects within the APZ zoning district, which are located within the 65 noise contour, shall comply with mitigation standards provided in code. The project is partially located within the 65 noise contour. These standards ensure that the impact of aircraft noise on the proposed use is mitigated through the design of the building and construction of the building, and will be reviewed by the building official during building permit review. The proposal shall be compliant with these standards as determined by the building official prior to building permit issuance, condition 8. Site plan consistency. Per code, the development standards for military-related zoning districts shall be determined by the director. The director has determined the AC1 zoning district is subject to Industrial 1 zoning district development standards. Upon review of the submitted plans, the proposed project will meet all I1 bulk standards. The proposal is code compliant. Street improvements. The Public Works Engineer has reviewed the project and provided a review memo dated August 18, 2021. The project shall comply with the memo issued by Public Works Department prior to issuance of site development permits, conditions 10 and 11. Community design standards. The proposal is subject to the community design standards and will be reviewed during design review permit. A separate type 1 design review permit is required prior to site development application, condition 6. Landscaping. Per landscaping code, the proposal is subject to landscaping standards. The proposal is providing 25-foot landscape buffer along 34th Avenue South across from the single-family residences and 8-foot landscaping along the north, south, and western property boundaries, which meets the landscape buffering widths in code. The proposal shall be compliant with all appropriate plant spacing, screening, and landscape buffer widths required in code. A separate type 1 design review permit is required prior to site development application, condition 6. The subject parcel is devoid of trees. As such, the proposal is compliant with the tree preservation standards of Article 3. In general, the conditional use permit criteria looks to ensure that the proposed use is compatible with the neighboring community, comprehensive plan, zoning standards, and will not cause harm. The established character of the surrounding properties is largely comprised of commercial industrial uses with limited multifamily and single-family residences. The city ensures character consistency of the proposed project through building, landscaping, development standards, and parking standards. The proposal is required and conditioned herein to receive a design review permit that will ensure character consistency through community design and landscaping standards. As conditioned through the 12 recommended conditions, staff finds the proposed RV sales and storage use would be compliant with all conditional use permit criteria. See the staff report for a detailed review of each conditional use permit criteria. Based on the findings and analysis and conclusions in the staff report, Lakewood Community Development staff recommends approval of the curbside RV sales and storage conditional use permit LU 21-00062, subject to the 12 recommended conditions provided in staff. And that is the end of the presentation.
Okay, just had a few questions. The staff report mentions there are going to be carports as part of this project. Is that, are these going to be like basically roofs over the RVs without walls, or I mean, what's that going to look like exactly?
The applicant stated that they're going to be, so the backside, the side facing the property lines would be walled off. So it'd be a roof with side and rear walls, but the fronts would be open and the fronts being facing internal.
Oh, okay. And so that's just to protect the RVs from the elements. Is that
right?
The purpose of them? Okay.
Yes, and they'll be subject to building and design standards because they're considered a building.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yep.
okay. And then I wasn't quite following the noise standard issue. You said that's going to be addressed at building permit review. I take it this is an issue of protecting the people on the project site from the noise of the airport. Is that what those standards are geared towards?
Yes, they're for JBM, basically the impact of the aircraft onto individuals mostly living or working within a building within that noise zone. I see. So
it wouldn't apply to people walking around the site looking at the RVs. It would just be for people within working in the office. Is that what that would be applying?
Correct. All the mitigation standards deal with how the building is designed and constructed to kind of limit those noises. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like a standard for people outside, because that would probably be pretty hard to meet if there was. So correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, that's all the questions I had. And I don't see any members of the public participating, since this is on YouTube and we may have someone watching who is trying to join the Zoom meeting and can't for whatever reason, technical reason. I'll leave the record open until 5 p.m. tomorrow. If they want to submit some written comments, we'll allow that, and then I'll allow the applicant staff to respond to those comments. Ms. Brunel, do you have an email address maybe we can tell people about that they could email those comments to?
Yes, they're welcome to email permits@cityoflakewood.us or cbrunel, BRUNELL @cityoflakewood.us.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. Well, I'll go ahead then and close the hearing. This looks pretty straightforward, hasn't drawn a whole lot of public concern and appears to meet the code pretty squarely. So I shouldn't have any trouble putting together a decision for approval, and I'll get that out within the next couple of weeks. So I appreciate your participation today, and we're adjourned.